Well, welcome back to another Wednesday whiskey review here with your boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today we have one of Mike's favorite whiskeys of all time.
Let's move it along. I'm probably going to throw up while we review this.
What do you know about Ardbeg?
It's the most peaty Scotch on earth.
Basically, yeah. So Ardbeg is a part of the Islay family of Scotches. So it's from the island of Islay, which are with Lagavulin and Laphroaig, the other ones, but those are the three main ones. And basically, when you're talking about Islay Scotch, it's very peaty. They use a process where they burn peat moss to dry out the malted barley. So they're literally with shovels that are, I don't know, probably 2 feet long, digging into the soil, lifting up peat moss that was growing in the field, and then burn that to dry out the malted barley. So when we're talking about Ardbeg Wee Beastie, they are traditionally a very, very, very peaty Scotch, and this is their Wee Beastie. So this is one of their peatiest peaty Scotches. So I'm going to let you open this so people can see your genuine reaction.
This is anti-Mike. That's what this is. It's anti-Mike.
I don't know, man. You might try and you might be like, I really like the taste of tar.
Did we got the dropper out here?
No, we don't do the dropper anymore. That's old news.
Woof.
Just wanted to make sure we were recording. That would have been bad.
That's my little drab.
But look at how light it is, though.
Yeah. Close it so the studio doesn't smell like a peated moss fire.
Around. We should get an air freshener of this.
That's the second worst idea you've ever had in your life. The first was starting this podcast.
No, I thought you were going to say the first was the conversation earlier today, which we'll get to in the Monday episode if you want to hear about my amazing idea that I wanted us to buy.
Anyways, label branding on this sensational bottle that is green, which I think automatically elevates it to a B because green bottles matter.
Hell yeah, they do. I like that you said that.
In regards to the rest of
It's not a political statement. It's our personal belief that green bottled beer tastes better because of the way that the sun goes into it. We're not a political show.
I was just going to tell him to watch all of our episodes to find out when we talked about that first, and then watch the rest of our episodes to find out why we continued that belief. But I guess you can just give them the Spark Notes edition. Yeah. Hashtag not a sponsor. So this guy's label is actually really cool. Mm-hmm. It's intriguing and enticing, and then when you buy it, bring it home and smell it, you want to immediately return it, but that's a different conversation for you and I to have off air.
But you can't return open bottles, so you're stuck with it.
Correct. And then you bring a friend over that's manly enough to actually enjoy this. So, or you cut it with as much water as possible. Correct. But it's non-chilled filtered. The label does give you some interesting aspects and keynotes. Wee Beastie is something that wants you to drink it. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of like Celtic ties, I feel, in this. They also have their logo on top of their cork. They have an actual cork, which I think then boosts it right to an A from the B. And it's guaranteed 5 years old, which I find interesting because it's not necessarily a long period of time when you're talking Scotch. And it's a monster of a dram. I'm going A+ on this just because. Is there packaging?
No, this came just like this.
Oh, so it's just a bottle.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it an A- just because of that.
A-? I
think
agree,
Scotch
I
should come in a I agree. Scotch should come in a package.
I agree.
And I get aggravated when it doesn't.
I'm with you. So A-.
A-. All right. That's the best rating that you'll get from Mike on the rest of this review.
Essentially.
All right, on the nose. What are you getting on the nose?
I'm getting a D.
You really think it's that bad?
It's straight peat. That's what you're getting on the nose. The initial taste, I'm intrigued to find out if there's other notes that you can pick up other than death and fire and peat. But on the nose, all I'm getting is peat and smoke.
I'm getting a little chocolate. I'm getting...
Out of your mind.
I'm getting pine, like pine wood.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's a little bit of a sweetness to it, too.
I'm getting like a wood sugar, but I'm not getting any chocolate. The pine I can get behind, and otherwise just smoke and
maybe
peat.
like a little butterscotch, like a burnt butterscotch.
None of that. I'm nothing. Nothing.
If you are looking at getting a Scotch, I highly recommend starting with Speyside and not starting with Islay, because you are going to pick up an Islay Scotch and you are going to hate it.
Correct.
Islay is you need to work up to it, because the peat smell and the flavor are very, very overwhelming. So Mike, who doesn't like Islay Scotches, picks up peat and that's it. I, who love Islay Scotches, can get behind that peat a little bit more to uncover some of the flavors behind it, because it is a taste and a smell that you have to get used to, or else it's just not going to fly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I am getting a little chocolate, a little pine, and like a caramel butterscotch undernote to it. I think that this is one of the best smelling peat scotches I've smelled. And there's a little bit of a tar too, actually, which might not be the most enticing thing in the world. It's like a tar.
I'm getting peat. So I'm going B.
Okay. I'm gonna go B plus. So let's go B minus. I'm surprised with the B, because you came out hot with a D.
Yeah, as a joke, but
okay.
I mean, we're actually rating it, but
right.
it literally encompasses what you would expect with Scotch.
Right.
Most people they coincide peat with Scotch, and that's it. They don't understand the other regions and the vast differences and the different tasting profiles and things. So for this is like the epitome of all of that, which is why I do rate it for what it is, because that's what it is. And you have to give this respect because of the process and everything else that goes into it. It's not a simple, task to make good Scotch. So all of that in mind goes into my portion of my rating and my opinion.
Yeah.
So
there you go. I agree. B minus. All right, initial taste. Balance it on your tongue.
Okay. Cheers to a monster of a dram. Oh, almighty. There it is. What do you got?
Ash. Like, I'm picking up.
Ash is a very good call.
This isn't going to sound delicious, but
wow.
My first initial thing is like a cigarette ash.
All I want to do is quote Forrest Gump when he literally, she tastes like cigarettes, Lieutenant Diane. Yeah, you do get ash up front, which is very interesting. I would, subconsciously, I thought that would be the ending note, just because of the fire aspect, but that's up front, which is very unique. Honestly, if I had to give this like a percentage out of 100, 100 being the best and 65 below is fail.
Which is what we do in the final rating scale. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Correct. But I'm saying in regards to if I had to use that now for the initial taste instead of a grade, which, all right, listen, people that are educated in the New York education system, I understand that there is a percentage that coincides with the letter of the grade.
Correct.
What I'm just going to say is I would give this initial taste like a 72%.
Yeah. So that is a D. You would give this a D?
Yeah.
Okay. The cigarette ash or campfire ash or whatever you want to call it. I know they're two pretty different things, but it's like an ashy, dusty taste. That's kind of what I'm getting right up front. And that kind of makes you not like it. But the right after that, it gets very sweet and delicate, which is
like fruity.
To me what I really, really like about this.
Yeah, the ending note is so much better than the initial taste.
Yeah.
The initial taste is the last 2 puffs of a cigar, and the second to last puff of the cigar, the cigar's over with, but now you're upset, so you force one more and then burn your mouth because it's just straight fire. That's what this is. Like, that much ash hits you on the initial taste.
That's a good way to put it.
I was not expecting any of that on the initial taste. I'm still going a D+.
Okay, I am going to go B minus.
If you want me to find the average of letters, I swear to Christ. Listen, there's not many things I can do.
It's a C. I did that on purpose, so it's a C.
Well, I can do that, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't blend the rest of it. Y equals MX plus B, man. I don't know. So what? C check mark?
No, C.
Hard C.
Hard C. Right in the middle of D plus and B minus. Nailed it.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense.
Ending
I
note.
guess with logic.
Ending note. What are you getting on the end?
It's very fitting I'm wearing this jersey today when you're asking me math questions. Ending note, you do pick up a little bit of like the sugar aspect, but that ash lingers, man. Like I haven't taken a sip since the last sip we all just watched. Awkward. And it's still lingering inside of the like the high hug portion of drinking. I do get wood sugar. I still don't get chocolate.
I don't get chocolate on the taste. That's just
so it's just a smell. Interesting.
So the smell is just straight chocolate and tar.
I get just the wood sugars from the barrel. That's it. Man, this will make a man out of you.
Yeah. With the ending note, I'm kind of picking more of that pine note, maybe like an herb, like a
burnt herb.
Yeah, like a burnt rosemary. Is that kind of what that?
No, rosemary's too delectable of a treat.
Delectable.
Delectable?
There you go. I'm surprised that we got to the bottom of that.
English.
Let's continue having a conversation about that. So I don't know. There's like this piney herb at the back. Like if you eat a pine needle, that's kind of what I'm getting at on the back.
Yeah, but I'm not getting that because I make pine needle tea in the woods.
Okay, that's weird.
I boil water with pine needles in it, and then I have pine tea, and I'm not getting pine. I can smell it, but I'm not tasting it.
To me, I'll go on the ending note, another B, hard B. I like the ending note. I like it better than the initial taste. And it's kind of comparable to the nose. To me, the ending note more relates to the nose than the initial taste did. The initial taste was just like, I'm going to throw your whole day off.
Yeah, it's wild. It confuses your palate because your nose is expecting A, B, and C,
right.
And then it gets hit with an H. You're like, the hell's going on? Nothing makes sense anymore.
Right.
I'll meet you with a B, and then for the tasting notes to write on the board, I still get ash, but we already have it for the initial taste, and I'll put pine on there, but otherwise I'm just getting the wood sugar.
What about like a nut? Like a tree nut.
That's
or
a different
something.
conversation. I'm not getting that.
Does it have any notes on here? So first comes an intense aroma of cracked black pepper. Okay, mingling with the sappy pine resin. I was right. And a sharp tang of smoke. So the smoke and the black pepper is probably what we're picking up as cigarette smoke because of that spice and the smoke to it.
Yeah, it's like menthol.
Suddenly, the explosive mouthfeel bursts forth with chocolate, creosote.
Are you seriously asking me? Are you out of your mind?
And tar. Savory meats sink into the palate before a long, salty mouth coating finish slinks away.
That's marketing, if I ever heard it.
Right.
Meats? I've never had meats taste like this.
No, I guess I could see that. Like, if you bite into a heavily charred peppered steak, I could see that.
Final rating.
All right.
Give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
73. 87 and 73.
We've been pretty off lately. Like, our ratings have been very different. Come on.
What do you mean? Come on, like I'm an animal trying to come inside after being outside for far too long.
What was it again?
80. Would you say
86?
No, you said 87.
87. Okay.
87, 73.
Yeah. So that's 14. Half of 14 is
7.
This is just into a math lesson. The past 2 episodes have been this.
Did you for sure say 87?
Yeah, I think so. Half of 14 is 7.
7.
So 7 plus 73 is 80.
80. Yeah. You had to give me a second for the 7 and 3. I had to stack it up in my head for mental math. You know how it is, man.
All right, that's an 80. That's not bad, dude. I mean, we had a 78 not too long ago. The mellow corn. You would rate this higher than the mellow corn or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that is because of the appreciation I have for Scotch.
Oh, look at that. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. This has been Ardbeg Wee Beastie Wednesday Whiskey Review. If you enjoyed this, please like this video. Comment down below what other whiskeys you would want us to review, because we have a plethora of whiskeys at our disposal, thanks to Addie's, which is where I got this bottle. We have basically any whiskey that you would want. So comment down below, and we will try to find it and review it for you.
And then subscribe so that you know when we do another one of these and you don't miss it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Please remember, if you are going to be drinking this or any other whiskey, drink responsibly, be a good person. And Michael.
Do not litter.
Oh, we're out.